Good morning, everyone. I'm Anastasia, and I work for Breeze Max Web with Brennan. So this morning, it's a little early, so we only have a couple people on the call. Our 1 o'clock event, or 4 p.m. Eastern Time, is very, very popular. We get over 50 people joining. So this morning will be a little bit more intimate. So now I guess we have Lynn on the call. Lynn, are you there? Lynn, are you on the call? Brennan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I see Lynn on the call, so I'm just going to get started in 1 minute here.
I'm wondering, because Lynn didn't answer.
That's okay. We're still going to keep going because Chris is going to join on any minute here. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, welcome everybody. We're going to get started. Before we begin, you can put your questions in the chat if you like. We just have a few people on the call right now, but we'll have more joining hopefully. And we also have our guest speaker today is going to be joining us shortly, and he'll be jumping on the call momentarily and getting set up for his segment. Yeah, for my part. So let us know. I'm just going to turn the chime off 1 second here. Enter an exit chime that keeps dinging. All right, so let us know in the chat where you're calling in from. I see Nira on the call. Good to have you on here, Nira. And we see Frank. Frank is back. That's awesome. Let us know where you're from. Have a pen and paper handy if you like to take some notes. Of course, your undivided attention. Treat this really obviously like a seminar that you would go to in person. And so, we're putting these on. We've been having great success with them. The afternoon call at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern. Yesterday we saw 47 people on the call. Last week we saw roughly about 50. So it's been growing every single week. So we're pretty excited and pretty happy about that. The last couple weeks have been good. We've been talking about how to pivot your business, how to fill the gap that is being created by some other businesses, how to communicate with your clients more effectively, different topics. And tomorrow we have a great topic about talking about social media. What is your social media calendar and how do you use it? So today we're going to be, like I mentioned, introducing Chris in a little bit, and he's an industry expert, and he'll be talking about Google My Business, which is a map listing that can help get you more referrals for your business. So just a little bit about us. We have been around since 2005. We are all across North America, Canada and the US. And when we started, the landscape in marketing was very, very different. It changes every single month, every single year. I've seen it change quite often as well. I've been with the company for a little over 3 years now, and I've been working out here on the West Coast in Vancouver with a few colleagues, and one of them is on the call, Anastasia. And we're obviously going through more turbulent times right now, very unprecedented times. But really, the market, the economic conditions that are showing themselves are not really unprecedented, right? We've been through similar types of times like this. So normally as a Google partner, we obviously can meet in person, but we're exploring this medium a little bit more, and we are looking into these channels to connect with you all across the country and all across even into the States. So we're definitely proud to step up more than ever right now. As a Google partner, and I've mentioned this for the ones that have been on previous calls, it'll be a repeat, but no worries. If you haven't taken advantage of this, definitely step up and let us know later. As a Google partner, we have a responsibility within the community. We don't take it lightly. And so when all this happened, we had to act swiftly, right? And with precision. We re-geared our strategy to help communities all across Canada with this support tool, and we called it COVID-19 Business Support Tool. It's really just a communication tool to talk to your clients and let them know what's happening in your business. Have you changed your strategy? Is your deliverable changed, your product and service, how you offer that? What are your adjusted hours, right? Are you going all online? Are you closing up shop and hopefully, just closing up shop for the next little while, right? What are you doing? So these tools have had a tremendous impact on our clients. We started offering it to non-clients. We've had some great success with that as well. We've had thousands sign up for it, and it's really no contract, no charge. So it allows you to, like I said, reach out to the existing and even new if they are looking for your type of business that you offer. So we'll come back to these a little bit later, and you can also have some add-ons as well with it as well. So, all right, getting started here. This is our topic today: how to capitalize on the huge spike in traffic and get more referrals with your business map listing. Now, this is a part 1 of 3 series. Chris, our expert, is going to be joining us on for the next 2 Wednesdays, so plus today, so three Wednesdays, and he's going to be talking about different pieces of referral traffic, reputation management, how to tap into that really as a business. What can you do, right? The traffic has gone up significantly right now, right? In certain industries, it's even gone up 300 to 500%. Due to everyone staying at home, obviously, everyone is researching products and services more than ever. And a part of the traffic, a big part of the traffic that is surging right now are consumers who have never heard of your business by name, right? If they have not heard of your business by name, then, they have heard of your business by name, through word of mouth, right? So someone has mentioned the name of your business to them, and through passing, they thought, oh, I'm going to go and call them next week or next month, right? So what do? What do? You go to Google and you would type in that business name, let's say your business name, if you didn't own it, type it in just to see what comes up, right? And there's a lot that comes up. We're going to dive into this a little bit more. So these are returning customers, right? New customers that have heard about your business, and some are also returning customers. So a significant part of their decision-making criteria is to check the reviews before we move on. And so that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to talk about a few review platforms that are out there, different ones, and one of them specifically that we work with and we see great results with. So which review platforms do we use as businesses, right? There's a whole list here. We have Angie's List, Yelp, HomeStars, Facebook, TripAdvisor, right? Google My Business, all these different ones that are available. And really they all have pros and cons to them, right? Angie's List is bigger in the States, it's bigger in the US. And so, that is more of a private network, but very, very successful network. All of these platforms, they have one thing in common. They live on a search engine, a little search engine, you may have heard of it. It's called Google, right? Angie's List is geared towards US-based businesses, service businesses. It's a higher end review site because users actually have to pay for the membership to come on, right? So we'll talk about a con in a minute with that. But that's really what Angie's List is if you haven't used it before. Consumers Report, many of you know this one. It's an independent product testing organization that runs unbiased tests to rate and recommend products. So you may have used this for electronic consumer goods. You may have used it for when you're looking at buying a car, right? Different products like that. Yelp is a free review site, more popular in the US than it is here in Canada. And it lets consumers rate businesses on a 5-star scale. A lot of restaurants are on here, and some of you have the app on your phone, and you'll click on it, and or you'll go to Google to find it, to go to Yelp. But we see less interactions in Canada here. For some reason, the us as a market has not really adopted it as easily as easier. Sorry, we have not adopted it in the same way that the States, that the Americans have. Better Business Bureau, we've heard of this one. This has been around a long time. This would be what my father or your parents would be using, right? It evaluates all types of businesses against a set of best practices for how businesses should treat the public. And so it gives you a rating, A plus, D, whatever, if you're good or bad. And really, they just base it on what the facts are with the type of business. This network is not as popular anymore. Pros and cons with it, Angie's List. You see less fake reviews, which is great. A con with Angie's List is that it is membership based. So you do have to shell out some money for it. It may restrict some users from from using it as well, even though there is a large following with Angie's List. But it may restrict others because it's membership based. Consumers report great content, right, that you can get from this site. You can even use some of the practices that they use and bring that into your website. They have a great setup for it. All products, a con with it is that all products that we know it for, sorry, that doesn't read right on the slide, but it's mainly just, like I said, for cars, and for most people use it for electronic goods as well. Okay, so it may limit other types of products and services. Yelp, more popular in the US, like I said, great for restaurants. Poor reputation. They've had some issues over the years with basically adjusting the results, okay, and adjusting the results based on if someone is paying more to them or not. Well, that's not really good, and consumers lack confidence now in that service. Some do, some don't. Better Business Bureau, filtering the good and the bad, helping consumers, that's the positive. And the older generation of businesses have used it before, but really there's better alternatives now. If you think of your own behavior on the internet, right? You look up a business, if you were referred by a friend, this is a branded search. If you are unsure of which business you will choose, but you know what you're looking for, you're going to come through what's called a discovery product or service search, right? So this one is very, very powerful as well, because it's Google as a directory. It's a giant directory. Some of you may remember Yellow Pages back in the day. It was a phone book company, and Yellow Pages was, you would flip through the book and you would go to electrician, you would go to spa, you would go to the part in the book of the topic that you were looking, or the business that you were looking for, and you would find the business through that list. Right? Google works the same way. Do you go to 5 different review sites? If you think about it, you generally don't, right? Or are you more likely to choose what shows up on Google first rather than go digging, right? You're gonna go on the first page. One of the things that we always say to our clients and new clients is that, do you ever go to the second page? Probably not, right? And so the first page is really where everyone looks. And if you don't find what you're looking for on the first page, you type in another search, right? And then you're gonna find, more likely you're gonna find what you're looking for. The name of that business that you remembered, or a new business. And you're gonna evaluate it based on that. And so really, review platforms were not created all equal, right? There's so many different platforms, as some of them we mentioned, but some have pros and cons. And so, of course, with anything, you want to pick the best one. What are the best few review platforms that you can use to get more referrals, to really have your current clients go on there, leave reviews, let others know about how good your business is. We typically don't like to jump through the hoops to find the businesses we're going to call or walk in, right? So when you go to Google, you're having to jump through, like what I always say, you jump through another hoop to go to Yelp, to go to Better Business Bureau, right? Let's just say Yelp, for example. Right? You go to Yelp, you jump through another hoop. You're making it more difficult for your customers and new customers to find you. So like I said, you want to be placed well and often on Google, and then you're winning. Now, this leaves us with a product that we know very, very well as a Google partner, is the Google My Business local map listing, okay? All of you use this. You all use it as part of the criteria for choosing a business. You see it, it pops up on the page. Chris will talk more about in depth with this, but really the summary of it is it keeps your website and map listing accurate with the same information, boosts your local SEO, right? We can dive more into this in the future topics, so that you just show up higher, creates good first impressions, reviews and review management. It gives you that opportunity. There's an advertising feature in there as well called Google Posts. And then you're able to even offer a feature to book your customers to have maybe the text feature in there. And so they can text in or book in your calendar for an appointment if you're a doctor, let's say. Okay. So now I'm going to introduce our speaker today. Chris Meunier is the VP of Sales and Marketing at BreezeMax Web. He is a Bachelor of Commerce with a marketing major. Beyond a digital marketing expert, he is a reputation management expert and Google My Business expert. He's also a Google local guide. Chris is at the forefront of everything digital, and really he understands that there is no point in doing anything digital unless you take care of your reputation first and lay the proper foundation for that. So it is my honor to bring in Chris Meunier. Chris, how are you today? Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. Thank you, Brendan, for the complimentary introduction there, and using a picture that's a few years older makes me feel young. I love it. How are you, Anastasia?
I'm good, Chris. Thank you.
Awesome. So I'm in Toronto, everyone, and our Vancouver team has been doing very well with these webinars. And so I just want to thank them and thank them for the opportunity to go into what I'm about to go into now. So I'm going to share my screen with everybody. Right now, I'm going to share my screen, share screen, and then you should see it in a second. Which one is it? Sorry, share the screen. Anastasia, it's not allowing me to share the screen.
That
You know what? It is. Hold on. I got to open my system. Yeah, it's okay. I got it here.
and Brennan has to stop sharing his screen for you to be able to.
I stopped sharing it, and then I just allowed multiple participants sharing simultaneously, so that should work.
Okay. It looks like this might kick me out and bring me back in. Just give me 1 second here.
Okay, no problem. All right, no problem, no problem. All right, we will just wait 1 second while Chris gets set up.
And while we're waiting, if anybody has any kind of questions, please feel free, put it in the chat for me. I'm answering people's questions as we're having the webinar. So please just put any questions you have in the chat. And if you'd like to put your information as well for others to see, just put the message for everyone. So you could put your business name, your website, put all your contact info. Could use this as an opportunity to network at the same time.
There we go. We're good.
So I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, there was just a little bit of a sharing permission issue with my computer there. So can you hear me and see my screen properly, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So sorry about that little tech issue. So yeah, I'm really excited to talk about the history of Google My Business, aka GMB. So if I refer to GMB anytime, obviously that's the acronym for Google My Business. Google My Business has been around for quite a long time, actually since about 2014. So it's not as old as some other review platforms that Brendan did a very thorough job of talking about earlier, but it is a little bit different than the rest of them. So basically in 2014, Google added Google My Business to the map functionality of their SERP. So the SERP is a search engine result page, very basic. It's just what we look at when we interact with Google, when we search for anything. In 2015, Google launched the Local Guides program to replace what was called City Experts. And this was actually to compete with Yelp's Elite Squad. So if there's any Yelpers out there, I'm sure you're very familiar with Elite Squad, or if you're not, well, Elite Squad is the equivalent of Google Local Guides. And they're just individuals, members of the public, our community that like to leave reviews and like to ensure that business listings are up to date. In 2016, the majority of agencies really started recognizing the benefits of Google My Business for every business. So anything from providing information to showing up in search results, and really just having another place on the internet that people can quickly find you for whatever reason they're looking for your business. And we'll go more into that later. In 2017, agencies started realizing the search engine optimization capabilities of Google My Business. So how you can do certain things to the page to make sure that you're ranking somewhere where a ready buyer or somebody looking for something might find you, and that could end up bringing you business. And then in 2017, also there was a paid ad extension. 2018, Google added video functionality to Google My Business, so business owners or reviewers could upload videos to the page. This would include a tour of your business, and it started going on the 3D tours. And then in 2018, Google really amped it up, and they offered a dashboard that can manage over 10 locations. So there's some businesses out there with thousands of locations, and there's individuals, and their whole career at an agency is managing these Google My Business pages. That's what they do every day of their lives. That's how important this part of digital real estate has become. So let's talk about why businesses should use Google My Business. There's really a multitude of reasons why. Very first, it's basically like a virtual business card online, but very, very interactive. You can do all types of cool stuff. Some businesses can actually survive without a website and only have a Google My Business page. But another reason why businesses should use a Google My Business page, a main reason is initially it is free, right? So you can set one up for yourself, or you might be one of those lucky businesses that somebody else has set one up for you, like someone like myself or even Google, and they'll just go and they'll add a place. And there's actually points given to people that are called pathfinders. They add businesses to Google My Business. Also, it's very, very easy to set up. It's a very, very simple interface, and it can be accessed on desktop, tablet, or mobile. So it's very accessible. And then it provides you an overview of analytics. So it kind of has a little bit of a snapshot of Google Analytics, but just the important aspects that an everyday business owner would really care about, right? Near me searches, how many people are visiting your page, and all that cool stuff, what people are searching for. And the other thing is Google My Business is here to stay, right? It's not going anywhere. It's evolving. And the main reason why I would say use it is there's a whole bunch of review sites, and they all have their strengths and weaknesses. They all have their pros and cons. But at the end of the day, Google My Business is what I call a top layer review platform / business listing, because it is part of Google. It's also free to set it up. If you want to manage it and maximize it, then you should look at hiring someone to do it, outsourcing it, but you can still use it in a rudimentary way. But the thing is, it is not monetized by Google. It is a true business listing with real reviews. Google is not monetizing it in any way. It's just a value added part of their first page. So you should really, really look into using it. Now, on that note, let's talk about how somebody might use it. So let's say personally myself, I travel for business often. And let's say I was in a city, I'm in, I don't know, Chicago, and I want a specific type of clothing, or I want to go to a specific restaurant, anything. So now I do a branded search. Well, you want to make sure that you show up for this branded search result, because that person really, really wants whatever you're offering. They've searched your brand, right? So, that could be anything, Levi's jeans. And then if you carry Levi's jeans, there you go. Or a specific type of food, any of that could be a branded search if it's your unique one. Now, a product versus product and service search, that's much more general. The person is searching, they don't know the solution they're seeking yet, but they know the service or the product that they require to solve a pain that they have. Not a physical pain, but anytime someone's in need of a product or service, we call that a pain in marketing, and the product or service is the solution to that pain. So let's say my sister brought her dog over and her dog peed on my couch. right? Little dog, it's cute. What do I have to do? I have to get it cleaned. So I could look up upholstery cleaning Toronto because now I live in Toronto. All right, so there we go. I search that and a bunch of results will come up. Or somebody else told me about this great company called Victoria & Co. And I know about them. I've heard about their work before. So I search Victoria & Co. In both instances, I'm looking for a service. One, I've just narrowed down who I want already. The other one, I'm going to select somebody. And that's where it gets really, really interesting. So let's check out a result for a service search in a city. So upholstery cleaning Toronto, this variation of the search. I don't know if it's big enough for you, but I'll tell you right off the bat, there's 210 searches a month. And if I were to try and buy Google Ads for this, the average cost per click is $11. So it's quite a costly click. Now we see Victoria & Co in second position, and full disclosure, Victoria & Co is my client, right? So they have 5.0, they have 812 reviews. This gentleman has 5 trucks that go around Toronto. They clean high-end upholstery. At the end of every call, he is on top of everything. He calls, asks, how was the service? Okay, perfect. Did they get the stain out? Okay, great. Did they put the little blue things on their shoes when they came in your house? Oh, yes? Okay, awesome. Is there anything they could have done better? No? Okay, so glad to hear. If you're going to leave me a review, would it be 5 stars? Anyways, this is how this gentleman has gotten these reviews. And as a searcher, I can tell the difference between these 3 companies, right? So we're going to go much more into that next week. Into reputation management, that's kind of a teaser. But if I'm going to select anybody, right, for a service search, I'm probably going to go with him. So let's now look as a ready buyer searching for a service. And now I've expanded it and I've gone into the actual page, right? So this page has a whole bunch of information on it. Right? It looks like a pretty simple dashboard, but it's got a lot of stuff in there. 1, I can click over to the website. 2, if I want to drive there right away and buy a product, I can just click on the directions. Off I go. 3, if I want to save it for offline reading, I could. That's probably the least used function on the Google My Business page. 4, reviews. I can go in and I can see what other people are saying because everybody cares about gossip, whether it's good or bad. And let's not kid ourselves. Reviews are a form of gossip. They're talking about somebody else and it can be good. So it is what it is. We all want to hear what's going on. Then I can see the address myself. I can see the hours. I can click on it and expand it. I can see a warning, which is now put up for this special circumstance that we're all dealing with. And I can see the phone number. And because I did this on my desktop, I don't have a call button. But if I actually did this on my phone, I would have a lot more options where I could actually click the call and speak to that business owner right away. But now I can also see products. So there's pricing and products. There's images down here. I can see their different tinctures. I can see it in their store. I can really see everything. So this little page here is a dashboard of a business. And no matter what info I want or how I want to interact with it, it has everything. So if you have your Google My Business page set up and managed properly, it looks great. And if you don't have it set up and managed properly, well, it looks like you can't keep the front window of your business clean. So that is really, really why managing proactively a Google My Business page and ensuring it's professional is of utmost importance. And as Brendan said earlier, there's no point doing other things if you can't keep the front window of your business clean, or there's no point if you can't take care of your reputation in the beginning, because people judge a book by its cover, and this is the cover of every business nowadays. Bottom line, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It doesn't sit in a link that goes to another review platform. You can't pay Google to do anything. And there's no benefits, add-ons, there's nothing. You can't, it is what it is. It's basically an automated system, and it sits in the most powerful piece of, Google's talking to me, the most powerful piece of advertising real estate ever invented in the history of the world. A piece of advertising that can show up right in front of somebody when they decide they want to search for something because they're thinking about it. So let's make sure that we, be top of mind about how that works. So now we're going to talk about, is word of mouth as important as it once was? So back in the day, not too long ago, we used to rely on referrals, and everybody relied on referrals. It was all about referrals. And to this day, businesses, they still say, hey, I rely on referrals. Well, referral business is great. It's a sign that a business is doing well. It's a sign that a business is providing good service or a good product. Also, or even at a fair price, and a lot other multitude, other things, factors. But it's also can be word of mouth because somebody's your friend or your family member. They just like you, but you might, maybe you aren't the best. Maybe there's competitors out there that have differentiations that make them better. But at the end of the day, word of mouth isn't what it once was. Because if somebody tells me, oh, go see Victoria & Co. or go see so-and-so, they're not going to usually give me the business card anymore. I'm going to go right away and I'm going to Google it. And I'm going to say, awesome. Anastasia gave me a referral to go use this business. I just moved to Winnipeg for 6 months. I need dry cleaning every week. And I'm going to go to ABC Dry Cleaner, like she said. I Google it. Guess what? They have a 3.2. 3.2. I don't want to go there. Well, I don't know what's up with her recommendation. I search dry cleaner near me. I find one with a 4.6. For the next 6 months, they get $50 a month, $50 a week of revenue from me, $20 a week, whatever it is. That's a lot of money just because one thing wasn't taken care of properly, and that business already had won that business. I just wanted to figure out how to drive there. I was just going to click on the map listing, off I go, right? So that's Google My Business. Now, I want to ask you all, and no one has to really answer, and it's kind of a rhetorical question. We all know the answer, but who would you choose, right? If your cousin or someone told you go to Mike's Auto, and someone else said go to Jim's Auto, who are you going to get your car fixed, right? I don't know if you can see it, but I'll just read it out. Mike's Auto has 16 reviews and a 3.2 rating. Jim's Auto has 121 reviews and a 4.9 rating. One business owner cares more about their business than the other, and it's evident within a split second. So next week, we're really going to dive into reputation management, which is it's a very, very fast moving part of digital marketing. It's really, really the most important part. And digital marketing is very interesting overall, everything digital. I always like to say, your campaign, if you are running a digital marketing campaign, whether you're paying for it or you're doing it yourself, it is as strong as your weakest link. But if any of the links have to be the strongest, it is your reputation, because that is what you're leading with. I don't know how I'm doing for time, Brennan, but if you want to open the floor to questions, however that works, I'm good now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's 8:30, so yeah, that's should be good. Thank you for that, Chris. Questions that we have to start?
So far, I don't have any questions on my end right now. So if anyone has questions, please unmute yourself and feel free to ask a question to Chris or Brennan, and write it in the chat as well.
No questions. Any questions?
What about Chris? What if we're a business? Because I feel like some of these businesses on the call are some businesses where they've just started out, or they've been running for the last couple of years. They maybe have 3 reviews and they struggle with getting more reviews. What would you advise them to do?
So you know what, that is that's a very common scenario, and it's not something to feel bad about for a business. Sorry, let me stop my screen share. Actually, there we go. Can you guys? I'm gonna start my video now. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
First off, I just want to say to any business owners like that, it's not a bad place to be. Being a business owner is like one of the most difficult things in the world. You have to wear many hats. There's a reason why there's, good reward at the end of the day, freedom and, financial opportunities and such. But yeah, it's very difficult, and it's easy to just not be the best at some things. I recommend that you really just take a second every day and think, how am I going to get more reviews? Challenge yourself. You know, your frequency of your business is all different. If you have, 20 customers a day, okay, we'll try and get 10% of reviews out of them. That's two. If you have, 5 customers a week, we'll try and get, a couple of reviews out of them. But at the end of the day, you really just have to keep it top of mind. You get a little sign out front, or there's a lot of different softwares and such that you can use. We have one that I'll introduce next week. I'll pepper it in there a little bit. But often if you commit to something financially, and it doesn't even have to be a big commitment, that might really just help you, because often when people pay for things, they tend to use them more. So if I say, hey, you know what, I bought this tool that's going to cost me $150 a month or whatever, $199, whatever it is, and I got to start using it to get these reviews. And now that I'm paying for it, I'm going to start using it. And if you're a business owner that has, employees working for you, then you could start a competition, right? Empower them to do it. Give them some reward power. Use that. It's a management strategy, right? Lots of forms of power, star, reward, this and that. So it really depends on your specific situations. If any of you have questions and you want to talk about your individual needs and how you could, it's just a couple minutes of a conversation. I can help you out with that. You can find my info on our website, breezemaxweb.com. You can reach out or to the facilitators here. And I just give you a quick consultation anyways for free and just assess your business, because there's a lot of different ways you can start it, Brennan. It really depends on what the business is. Number one is don't feel bad. It's very common. And it's something that's really easy to fix.
Absolutely. Yep. Great. That's great. Any questions, guys? If not, we will be back on at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Going once, going twice. No. The other thing that I see a lot with some of my clients and potential new clients is they say, I've been in business a long time. I have 300 or I have 200 reviews, and my competitor has 16, and they're showing up higher on the Google Maps than I am. What do you say about that?
So, you know what, there's a lot of things that have to do with how you're ranking. And if I told you I actually knew them all step by step in the formula, I would be lying, because Google doesn't really release that information, right? It's part of their proprietary stuff that keeps agencies and individuals on their toes. But I will tell you one thing, the more you use Google My Business, the better. But obviously if you have 200 and something reviews and your competitor has 16, well, you're probably using it more than them. So what could it be? It could be proximity, right? So where are you searching from? Where are these searches originating from? How close are they to the geographic area? But it could be something more. It could be something else as well. Maybe your competitor is employing an SEO strategy. And an SEO strategy is based on keywords. And both you and your competitor obviously have the same keywords, but they're ranking and they're more relevant for those keywords. Because they're more relevant for those keywords, they're ranking better, and also they're getting more traffic. They might even be doing paid ads. Maybe their website just has more traffic to it as well. Right? Yeah, they could be posting. There's a lot of different things that really have to do. So reviews aren't the deciding factor. They are one of a multitude of factors, but it could also be just how maybe they're posting on their GMB and they're updating stuff. And maybe your GMB, you have a bigger business, you have more people coming, but you're just getting reviews. You're not even doing anything. You might not even be responding to them, right? So it really there's a lot of different things out there, and each GMB page is unique. But at the end of the day, I'd have to say it's probably relevancy, site traffic, proximity to the search pin, and your competitor could have more better SEO rankings for sure.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. So next week's topic is going to be about reviews, or about the actual review dashboard that we leverage and what we use for our clients.
Yeah, and it's going to have a lot of vocabulary. Actually, some that's strictly come out of this agency. So review bounce, it's kind of like website bounce, and some of this is really, really cutting edge. It's you'll hear it now, and you'll start seeing it mainstream in a year or so. It'll get out there. And thanks for your time, everyone. Thank you, Brennan, and thank you, Anastasia.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.